Hello, Dr. Michael Greger. Thank you for being on Veggie Channel again. We are in London for the VegMed 2019. I just would like to ask you how you became vegan. How this is possible in the life of a physician.
You know, it's actually all thanks to my grandmother. You know, I was just a kid when my grandma was sent home in a wheelchair to die with end-stage heart disease. She already had so many bypass surgeries, you just get so scarred up inside. There's nothing more they could do. Confined to a wheelchair, crushing chest pain. Her life was over at age 65.
How old were you?
Oh my God. So I was like 9 years old at that point. And then she heard about this guy, Nathan Pritikin, one of our early lifestyle medicine pioneers. And what happened next is actually detailed in Pritikin's biography. It talks about Frances Greger, my grandmother. They wheeled her in and she walked out. She was given a medical death sentence at age 65, but thanks to a healthy diet, was able to enjoy another 31 years on this planet until age 96 to continue to enjoy her 6 grandkids, including me. That's why I went to medical school in the first place, why I started nutritionfacts.org, why I wrote the book How Not to Die. I just wanted to do for everyone's family what Pritikin did for my family.
So let me understand, when you started your classical studies at the university, did you already know about the possibility of being vegan?
Oh, absolutely. So I already knew that many of these chronic diseases that were wiping out, that were plaguing the Western world, were reversible. Yet I remember being in a lecture saying that, where a medical professor saying that you would die if you became vegan. That for a patient that you literally couldn't live. And I'm like, I don't feel dead.
But we met many physicians that started being vegan after they finished their studies.
Oh, yeah.
How do you think this is possible?
So if you go to these kind of conferences and you ask people, what did it for you? The most common answer that I've gotten, and because obviously you didn't learn about it in medical school, is they've actually learned about it from a patient. And so all of a sudden, one of their patients that they've known forever comes back to them, and all of a sudden they've lost weight, they need to be taken off their diabetes medications, or, their blood pressure's down. They're like, wow, what did you do? Everything's great all of a sudden. And they say, well, I saw Forks Over Knives, or I, read the China study, or something that inspired them. And then in the back of their mind, the doctor's thinking, I've got 1,000 patients just like you, right? And that often starts them on the journey. And for me, as a scientist, that's frustrating. I was like, wait a second, I've got a mountain of evidence I've been trying to tell you, and one little anecdote, one patient, and all of a sudden you're changing your whole practice. But that often what triggers them looking into the science, and they realize that what they haven't been taught, and then oftentimes they change your entire practice and to this lifestyle medicine, using lifestyle approaches like diet, not just to prevent disease, but to arrest and reverse it as well.
It's quite funny because when we speak with a classical physician and we say there is literature, scientific literature that you should be aware of, and they say, yes, I know there is, but those studies are not good. Are second quality studies.
So anyone who knows the literature, that's not the response you get, because we're talking about, for example, Dr. Dean Ornish's lifestyle heart trial, published in the most prestigious journals in the world, The Lancet, follow-up 5 years later in the Journal of the AMA. These were randomized, controlled studies. That, for people who are actually aware of the literature, the response you get is, yeah, I know the science says, this is the diet that would reverse the #1 killer of my patient population, but my patients won't do it. I can't even get my patients to stop smoke. There's no way they're going to give up their burgers or whatever. And so, but that's this patronizing attitude that they are making the decision up for their patients, and they don't know if they should at least inform the patients. It's their bodies, their choice. If they want to keep smoking, well, then that's up to them. But they should at least be informed that if they continue to smoke, it'll significantly increase their risk for lung cancer. If they continue to eat food X, Y, and Z, these are the predictable consequences of their actions.
Last question. If you have a physician that is starting to get information and would like to know, where would you advise him to go to get the first important literature?
There's a fantastic website, nutritionfacts.org. Obviously, we have an army of translators, and we have a cadre of Italian translators that go through and subtitle in Italian. The book is available in Italian as well, How Not to Die.
I really think it's a good place to go, yes.
And so, that is the source I wish I had as a physician. Oh, no, there's an Italian translation of How Not to Die, absolutely.
No excuse.
No excuse.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. See you again.